what would you say stood out to you the most in this win? Because it seemed like the 49ers are kind of clicking on all games. Fans are saying this was the most complete game from the Niners. What stood out to you when you look at this game?
You know what stood out to me? My favorite player.
I was waiting for it.
Running back in the whole league, Jeff Wilson Jr. He had a dynamic day today, man. He was just hitting holes left and right. I saw Christian in our chat said he's slow. I was like, man, get out of here. He's average running back speed. No, Jeff Wilson was a nightmare for the Falcons today, man. And that goes back to our conversation about physicality. The reason why I like Jeff Wilson and why he runs so hard is because he runs a lot like Adrian Peterson. Eric Crocker said that a long time ago, that he thought that Jeff Wilson looks a lot like AP when he runs because he's just so physical. He runs really tall, but he also runs like a truck too. He's not afraid to run right through you. And Jeff Wilson today was just a nightmare, man. Let's see. 21 carries, 110 yards, over 5 a carry and a touchdown. And he only had a long of 17, but it just felt like it was 5 yards, 10 yards, 8 yards, 7 yards, just all afternoon. And Jeff Wilson and the 49ers offensive line, they were just blocking beautifully. So for individuality, man, I got to give a shout out to Jeff Wilson Jr. That is really what stood out to me, because I think after the hasty fumbles, you put him in the backfield, and even though he only got a couple carries, it's like, hold the ball, and then you don't want to feed Debo for 20 plus carries. So you got to go with Jeff Wilson. And Jeff Wilson had a really, really good day. That's my guy, man. I'm proud of Jeff Wilson Jr. He had a hell of a game. And that's, me, man. That's my guy. I got to get hyped for the guy. I don't have his jersey, but I think if he comes back another season, I think I'll commit to his jersey. That'll be my New Year's investment.
Yeah, it was a good performance from Jeff Wilson. I was a little nervous going into this game without Azeez Al-Shaair, without Elijah Mitchell for the second straight game. And I'm like, I don't know how they're going to get a second week in a row of running game going without Mitchell, because Mitchell has been so explosive for this 49ers offense. Wilson came in, averaged 5 yards a carry, 21 carries, 110 yards, a long of 17, and a touchdown on the ground. That's impressive. And I really do tip my hat to Jeff Wilson's performance today, because that's exactly what the Niners needed out of their starting running back, replacing Elijah Mitchell. So I really do appreciate that. But I'm going to go with George Kittle, 7 yards shy of his third straight 100-yard game. Yeah, that was tough, but still, guys, 6 receptions for 93 yards, a long of 28, average 15.5 yards a catch. 6 targets. So 6 catches on 6 targets. He didn't drop a single thing. Jimmy Garoppolo is automatic when he goes to George Kittle, it seems like. And that's like 75% because Kittle just catches everything. But it still is huge. And NBC Sports Bay Area tweeted out Kittle now has the most receiving yards by a tight end in any 3-game stretch in NFL history with 425 yards. He's tied with Darren Waller. I missed that on the chart. Tied with Darren Waller for most in NFL history by a tight end in 3 games, 425 yards. That's huge. If Kittle is as good as anybody, really. So I really want to tip my hat to George Kittle, because the last 2 weeks we saw him go off for like 151 and like 130 something, and now George Kittle again 7 yards away from 100. So he's huge what he can do for this offense. Having him, Debo on the outside, Brandon on the outside. Now you're getting Juwan Jennings coming up, Elijah Mitchell once he's back healthy with the tandem Mitchell, Wilson. That's a scary offense. I mean, honestly, and I hate to say it, but it seems like the only thing holding that offense back could be the quarterback. But when we see games like today where Jimmy's on, nothing's holding them back. So I really do appreciate that. Joey says, watching Jeff makes me miss Mostert. I see him hit an open hole and get 8 yards, and all I could think is Heem could have gotten 20. That is true. That's just that Heem speed, though. David Yank says, Matt's not going to like the love Perry's giving Jeff Wilson Jr.
No, he's not. Matt's a Jeff Wilson hater. I think Matt knows I like Jeff Wilson, so he's got to give him hate. No, Matt gave Jeff Wilson some love today. He did. He gave him a little bit of love, so Matt's got the soft side, Matt is a little softy when it comes to, some guys doing well. Jeff Wilson was one of them. So I can respect to Matt for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, Matt has been very vocal about his dislike for Jeff Wilson, but he did say, shout out Jeff Wilson. He had a good game today in the chat. So I really do think that he was huge. He was huge today.